and welcome to EDFL TV down here at New York Minute, Mount Alexander Road in the corner of Elizabeth Street, Matty. Fine establishment down here.
Home of the best gourmet steak sandwiches and burgers. I love the place. A lot of EDFL boys get down here and have a steak sandwich or burger. Give me some names.
We've got Vinny Randello and Sammy Leach from Pascoval. A few other boys.
Big Mel Michael loves a double New York Mac here as well. Dave Fanning, but also Joyce and Garth and your man Philpott.
Yeah, James Philpott gets down and enjoys a burger too. What's your favourite one here?
Mate, I love the New York special double burger, but doesn't do good for the calories here. But I love it, just the steak sandwich as well. Very nice. But a great menu here and great place. Anthony Crowell, the assistant coach, Mick McGon, owns the great restaurant here and looking after us here for EDFL TV.
Yep, absolutely is. So pop down Mount Alexander Road, New York Minute, and grab yourself a burger. Matty, let's go through all the Division 2 results from last round. Hillside bounced back from their loss the week before with an 85-point win over Jacana.
Bit of a statement there.
Yep, Coburg Districts won the Costello Chandler Cup.
Yeah,
played between
first ever.
Costello family at Keeler Park and Al Chandler, the president down there at Coburg Districts. So they got a 14-point win in that one.
And a massive win for Coburg Districts. Big statement because they have found it tough.
Yep, absolutely. Moonee Valley, without John O'Brien and Mick Tanner only kicked one goal, they still got up by 20 points over Roxburgh Park. Good to see Roxy taking it to Moonee Valley. They're really firming as a real finals contender there, the Magpies.
And EDFL always wanted this from Roxburgh Park to be competitive and to really push finals. So
just goes to show it does take a while with the new clubs, and one of the other new clubs in the competition is East Sunbury, and unfortunately they went down again by a big margin to East Keeler. But Matty, just on the ladder, Moonee Valley now a game clear of Hillside still, and then it's Roxburgh Park, East Keeler, both on 4 wins. And then one win back is Keeler Park and Coburg Districts, the two teams that played each other on the weekend. Round 8 in Division 2.
That loss could have cost Keeler Park. They're sort of competing with East Keeler for that 4th spot.
Yep, absolutely. So we've got Roxburgh Park versus East Keeler. All the tipsters have gone Roxburgh Park in this one, so it's really turned around.
Who would have
for
thought
Roxburgh Park in Division 2?
Year.
Yeah. So you'd expect them on form perhaps to get the win over East Keeler, despite East Keeler's big win the week before over East Sunbury.
Yeah, and the thing for Roxburgh Park is they come off the toughest game against Moonee Valley, and East Keeler come off the easiest game against East Sunbury. So expect East Keeler to come out fresher than Roxburgh Park, but the home ground advantage, Roxy, for me, just.
Keeler Park need to bounce back, and they should against East Sunbury.
Yep.
Hillside played Coburg Districts. Coburg Districts played Hillside in their first game back in the EDFL in over a decade.
Yep.
And they play them again. But you'd think that Hillside at home would just be too strong. Asakio helping back in the lineup last week.
Yeah.
And we've also got Moonee Valley versus Jacana. And if I must say, just on the Jacana Football Club, great last week. Their under-12s got a win.
Yep,
it was the first win that their juniors had since 2011. So they've really been struggling, Jacana, the last couple of years. But they got things back together. A new committee on board.
Yep.
New president, well, I can't say is doing a really good job down there too. So it's great to see Jacana getting some wins in senior football.
Yep.
They're not being smashed like they once were, and also getting some wins in junior football as well.
Yeah, well done to Jacana Footy Club. Get behind it.
So that is the Division 2 games for this round. Roxburgh Park, East Keeler, Keeler Park, East Sunbury, Hillside versus Coburg Districts, and Moonee Valley versus Jacana. Now, Matty, there's been a bit of talk about the umpires this year, the lack of numbers and that sort of thing. We've got Kelvin French down here, one of the more experienced and renowned umpires in the EDFL, UA and the EDFL, and you had a chat to him before, so we'll go to that and then have a chat afterwards.
Okay, joined by Kelvin French, our senior umpire here on EDFL TV. Kelvin, great to have you here on EDFL TV, and well done on a fantastic umpiring career so far.
Thanks, Matty. Thanks for having us, mate.
Mate, great to have you. You're one of the well-known umpires in EDFL. You've done Premier Division Grand Finals for the last couple of years. Mate, you're a favourite amongst the coaches as well. Very fit, very consistent. Mate, tell us about your umpiring career.
I'm in my 15th season. Been down at Essendon for most of that, besides a couple of years down at VFL. I just enjoy the local footy, getting around everyone after the game, having a drink. Just the local community, it's the best part about it.
Mate, you've grown up in this area as well. No doubt you've gone to school with a lot of the current EDFL players playing and some of the past EDFL players playing.
Yeah, that was a lot of the main reason I came back from the VFL. It was just that close-knit community that you knew the guys from school. It just made umpiring a hell of a lot easier. So I went to Nidri Secondary, so there's a lot of guys still out there at the moment. So it's good.
And what do you love about the EDFL, and what do you love, importantly, about umpiring?
Well, particularly umpiring in the EDFL, the standard of footy in the Premier Division at the moment is just sensational. The footy's just getting faster and faster. Back when I was at the VFL, I don't even think it was this fast. So the competition's just red hot, especially this year. Premier Division is just anyone's game at the moment.
And no doubt over the last couple of years you've seen some unbelievable players, some unbelievable coaches. Tell us about some of the players and coaches in the EDFL and media people as well, but players and coaches that really stick in your mind being one of our better umpires for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I guess a big name normally around the EDFL traps is Dennis Tankard. Always great for a chat after a game.
Ex-coach of mine too, so he's a great man.
Yeah, I've coached quite a few of his games, especially when he was back at Oak Park there, and had a lot of things to chat about after the game, and a lot of things have stuck with me since then, so that's been really good. Dennis Beiser is another one, obviously back at Greenvale now. He's been great. Just been able to chat with him and catch up with them outside of footy, and it's good. Seeing guys out of footy make you feel like you're human.
Yep.
So I think that they like that, they enjoy that.
Mate, we find it tough sometimes to get a full complement of umpires across 3 divisions, being a growing competition in the EFL. We need umpires. We're trying to recruit umpires. You tell us, I suppose, how good umpiring is, the benefits, and the sort of people that you think we could get to come umpires. We're trying to get past players, but what do you think, I suppose, of the enjoyments of umpiring, as well as what you mentioned, and of course some good money, but I suppose we could, getting you to ask and help us promote to get new umpires?
Yeah, I guess I look at it as I get paid to keep fit and socialise. We train 2 nights a week. We've got a professional trainer doing all our fitness. And getting those past players back, they turn out to be some of the best umpires because they've got a feel for the game. So it is good fun. After all the abuse you cop on the ground, you get back in the rooms and you can have a beer with the guys and enjoy yourself. And it's a nice way to finish off a week on a Saturday afternoon. You
get to train at the nice Windy Hill as well, which is a fantastic venue. We really urge people. It's only round 8 in the EDFL coming up, so there's still a long season to go. Get with Kelvin and Jason Fisher, Rick Waters and the team, and join umpiring. It's a great opportunity to stay fit, make good money, hang out with good people as well, and mingle with players. Mate, great to have you on EDFL TV. Anything you'd like to say to some of your fellow umpires as well?
Just stick at it, guys. Keep fit and keep going, and hopefully we can get a few more on board.
Kelvin, great to have you on EDFL TV. Cheers.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate.
So there you go, Calvin French, one of the finest umpires in the EDFL. Matty, just talk us through the sort of money that someone wanting to take up umpiring is looking at earning.
Yeah, look, someone like Calvin on a Saturday afternoon would have got probably $155, a couple of hours of work, a bit of preparation, gets to umpire with ex-AFL players,
Keep
and
fit.
gets to stay fit. So he's a superstar. It was great to have him here at New York Minute and see him down at the restaurant there munching on a New York special as well. And
good to see the umpires doing well in the media. Calvin, of course, and your man Dylan Beers McKibben doing great stuff on EDFL radio.
He was strong in last Saturday morning, some great predictions, and he's given you a hard time, I've noticed too.
Yeah.
10 o'clock to 11, 98.9 Northwest 7, the great footy show, Pelly, Papple and Big Dilsey.
Dill McKibben, absolutely. All right, let's go through Division 1 and the results last round. And Matty, the big one, I was down there. The draw between Glenroy and Tullamarine had been talked up all through the media during the week. The Ash Manning rivalry with Glenroy, former premiership coach, premiership player down there. There was a real sense of anticipation about this game. Glenroy know how to draw a crowd. Red Rocket Pocket, led by Cal Ronaldson down there, was up and about. And in the end, Glenroy came from behind when Tullamarine looked to have it sewed up. They were 16 points up late in the game, but Rodney Caruthers kicked 4 second-half goals. It was a real masterstroke by Lance Whitnell, sending Rodders forward.
Ex-Hadfield.
And Craigie Byrne.
Yep.
And he drew a real smart free kick late in the game. Some would say he might have ducked into it, but got a free kick, 20 out from goal, slight angle, and he nailed it to draw the game when really Tullamarine should have won it. But they still undefeated, Tullamarine, but the injury woes just continue. A horrible injury to Chris Barton with his Ankle not where it should have been in the
Yeah.
last quarters. Real sickening stuff there. Tom Delaney is
As well.
also going to miss a few
And he was
games.
good early for him.
Nathaniel Biggs will
Yeah, as
also
well.
miss a few games. It just throws in Cam Hare, Dave Scott,
Remarkable.
Mickey Egan. There's just so many season-ending injuries down there at Tullamarine. But I'm telling you, they are a real driven mob down there.
Right.
And people need to start standing up and taking notice of
Yep.
Tullamarine and what they're about, because they're attacking the footy and their tackling pressure and that
Yep.
sort of stuff was first class, and really they deserve to win that game against
Yep.
Glenroy.
You know what? And this is an unbelievable local football story. One of the most underrated football sides with not a lot of big names, taking away Cole Laurie and Heinen and some of the well-known players, and Justin Marcy. Just a remarkable story. They've gathered a side where they've got a lot of homegrowns, a lot of unknowns, and they've just, Dale Foote is a guy I think is in his early mid-30s.
Did really well in the ruck too.
I mean, against names like Julick and Dennis and Kite and Woodhouse and Whitnell and Carruthers, fantastic unit, and well, from the EDFL point of view, they just have to be commended so well. And Ash Manning, superstar coach.
Yeah, Foote was really good in the ruck. Adam Scott was another one that didn't play. So Dave Scott's first choice, Adam Scott's second choice ruckman. So Foote really stood up in that department. Justin Marcy was the Viking Protein Player of the Day. He was sensational.
Could do with a bit of big boy too, Justin Marcy.
Tullamarine, he's a fit-looking lad. He's all right. So that means that with the Division 1 ladder, Tullamarine is still a game clear on top from Glenroy.
Yep.
And I suppose we're talking about
What
Tullamarine
about-
a lot. It still is a good sign for Glenroy that when the chips were down, they could fight back. Aaron Kite was really well held from Drew Hinnan, who
Yep.
popped into Action Indoor Sports and said good day to me last night. Drew, and he
He's a
watches
good
the
man.
show. He likes
Yeah.
it. He's a very good man.
Good architect as well, up and comer.
Yes, and graphic designer also on the side. So he did a really good
Yep.
job with Aaron Kite, and Heath Woodhouse didn't do much either up forward. So
Yep.
good signs they were still able to kick 110 points.
Yep. Without
And their
those
two
guys.
stars up forward didn't really dominate.
We talk about that game, but there was another game up at Taylor's Lakes that would have always got the news bar in this draw. Was Taylor's Lakes 1 point versus Hadfield. Unbelievable game that was.
Yeah, Mark D'Souza kicked the winner. Controversial circumstances, we understand, again in a couple of games, but Hadfield really,
What an effort.
the word that I'm getting from Hadfield is that they probably should have won the game,
Yep.
which is, I guess, a good sign considering that Taylor's Lakes were firm favourites, but the Hawks just didn't come out to play for the first 10 minutes of the second half and gave up 3 goals, and Taylor's Lakes really got back in the game. And Hadfield, another team, really decimated by injuries at the moment. They're the sort of games that teams like Hadfield, West Meadows, Craigieburn, West Coburg, they need a pinch. They're going to stay up in Division 1. So disappointing stuff, but well done to Taylor's Lakes to get the 1 point win in the end. Northern Saints, they bounced back from their shock loss the week before, 127 points over Craigieburn, 29-23, high scoring game.
Definitely bounced back.
In that one, Ali Aboueed kicked 7.
Yep.
And West Meadows, we talked about West Coburg last week and
This is
how
unbelievable.
they're a spent force. Went down by 39 points. Years gone by, West Coburg at Shore Reserve just would not
Unbeatable.
get done.
Yep.
And
Knocked off anyone and everyone. I think Airport West they just lost to last year.
Yeah, that's right. So if we look at the Division 1 ladder, Hadfield sit outside the top 4 along with West Meadows. They're all they're 3 wins behind Taylor's Lakes. So the top 4 is set in stone, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago. But West Coburg and Craigieburn are last and second last. Who would have thought that West Coburg were 51 points up,
Could have
17
been
in
in
the
Premier
mark
Division. It's remarkable.
of the grand final last year, and Craigieburn were in Premier Division. They both sit down the bottom of Division 1, and after 7 rounds, look the 2 likely teams to possibly go down Division 2 football.
And that's a massive compliment to the other 6 Division 1 sides. And just well done to their committees, their recruiters and their coaching staff and players. But who would have thought one of these guys could be in Division 2 next year? We hope not, but this is very possible.
All right, let's go to this week's game, and Taylor's Lakes play Craigieburn, and they really need to make a statement here, Taylor's Lakes, with a big win. They've been a bit scrappy now for a couple of weeks, although they did beat Northern Saints, of course, but scrappy win against Hadfield. So they really need to bounce back in that one. Tullamarine versus Northern Saints. We all know what happened in round 1, where Tullamarine came from 5 goals down at 3/4 time. Who are you tipping in this one, considering that Tulla are at home, but their injury list just continues to mount?
Big round may test Northern Saints League, but from what I've been told, they're a quick, fast side. And Tullamarine's injuries have got to hurt him at some stage, and this could be the week. Northern Saints in an upset. Tulla boys, I love his all. I know I haven't tipped you much, but Northern Saints for me.
West Coburg versus Glenroy. Round 1, West Coburg were up against Glenroy early in the second
Remarkable.
half. They turned it around and won by 65 points. But
Yep.
I think the Roys will get the job done.
Yep.
The tight confines suit Glenroy. They still
Big
haven't.
bodies, strong.
Danny Campbell, the big boy down there. So you'd think that Glenroy would get the win
Yep.
against West Coburg. And Hadfield versus West Meadows. This is the interesting one.
Very close round 1, wasn't it?
Yep, so West Meadows' form's been pretty
Really
impressive of late. They've defeated Craigieburn and West Coburg, teams that they need to beat.
Yep.
But this is one. It'll go either way. They play each other 3 times, Hadfield and West Meadows. The Hawks at home, your thoughts?
I think they've been really good. Matty Patone as well, a good focal point also. They've just got those young guys too, Golding and all these guys.
Jake Blitzy's played the last couple
Yeah,
with Hadfield.
he's missing be good.
But
He's
Peter
missing
Gleason
a bit.
knows these blokes well. He's coached all of
Yeah.
them through the juniors.
And it was so close round 1 as well.
Yeah, exactly. West
I think
Meadows.
Hadfield at home though, very hard to beat.
Roden Aldridge kicked 8 last time. Josh Kaisak is a logical matchup, but he's
Yep.
got a broken hand.
Ooh.
So
And he's been good form, Aldridge as well.
So I think Roden Aldridge might be the difference, and West Meadows are a sneaky chance to win against Hadfield.
Be a great
in
game.
this
Your
one.
old club.
Yes, the Hawks, they will use this pink football in all 3 games this weekend. So it's double-sided tape, Matty, so don't pick it up. I'll have to stick it back down. But the pink footballs will be used
Love
the
it.
18s reserve seniors to celebrate Ladies' Day and also promote breast cancer
Yep.
awareness. So there's a
Yep.
good cause down there for the Hawks.
Unbelievable.
Great initiative, I think. And
Yeah, it is.
more clubs might look to tap into it. So the
Yep.
pink footies will be used down at Hadfield this weekend, which is good stuff. Your
And
tip
we
is
saw
Hawks.
Shane Crawford promote that in the footy show a couple of years. My mum went through breast cancer as well a couple of years ago, so we know how tough it is. And well done at both those clubs. Hadfield for me.
All right, so let's go to the Premier Division results from last round. The surprise with Essendon Duda Stars at Buckley Park, easily defeating Avondale Heights, 53 points. Phil Lobb kicked 7. He's been in good goal-kicking form. Paddy Rose still kicked 4 for the Hiders.
Unbelievable. Branko Asano back from Essendon VFL. He was massive, 4 goals. I think Robbie Hicks VFL released as well, the ex-Richmond player. As well as the big fella in the middle, Langtree, solid as a rock. I should say big, he's only probably 5'11", but strong midfielder. He's exceptional for them. And Duda Stars, Marcus Barham, they deserve a good accolade. They've bounced back. And big Gary Raleigh, their team manager, wanted a mention, or footy manager, assistant coach, so I've given him a mention.
All right, Airport West were excited about the contest with Greenvale, and they went down by 35 points. So good to see.
Not disgraced at all.
They took it to Greenvale. Good to see Marcus Kenny back playing.
And this is a Greenvale bouncing off their first loss as well. So they would have come out at their home ground pretty angry, a couple of players back. So
Strathmore versus Aberfeldy. Throw to a bit of footage of the game as we go through just the results from that one. And Aberfeldy just blew them away in the second half. They were 12 points up at half time. In the end, won by 65 points. Alan and Courtney Johns kicked 4 apiece. And good to see Josh Toy's second game back for his junior club. Aberfeldy, former Gold Coast player, and he's on Essendon's VFL list.
Yep.
Footies for All ambassador. Good to see him playing some good football in that contest. But Aberfeldy, the other team to beat, aren't they?
And we'll talk about this game a little bit longer because we have this footage. But the goal kickers, Ryan Allen 4, Courtney Johns 4, hardly played last year. And that's a massive difference for the two Blues this season. And also Castellano has come in and been able to pop in with 2 or 3 goals every game, freeing up the pressure on Mangan. And also some of their midfielders are kicking more goals. But just the start, Strathmore to get up 41-40 in their quarter time really made a statement. And the Moors just couldn't get back in the game.
In your humble opinion, Matthew, can Strathmore make the grand final this year or not?
I think Fitzgerald now, which I've heard he's going back overseas, is going to make it harder. They do have Matt Little, Doring and Grima to play in their best side, which I've mentioned before. I can't see him beating Greenvale and Aberfeldy, but anything's possible in a preliminary final.
Matty Fitzgerald's
If
going to
they
be
make it.
a big get for the Wimbledon Hawks. Apparently he's going
Yeah.
over to play in the AFL London League over there, so it'll be a huge get for the Hawkers over there in Wimbledon. Maryland Park, big winners over Keilor,
Massive.
10 points. Is Keilor done now? Can they make the finals from here?
No, I think it's going to be hard for the KFC. They're got a great list. I tipped them to beat my old side, Maryland Park. They would have been, and from what I've heard, utterly disappointed with that. You look on paper, they've got a great side, but Murray Parker was just hungrier, and Jack Anthony's best game of the year, 3 goals.
Good to see Jason Williams kick 3 goals. He's a regular down here at New York Minute.
Eats ice cream burgers and all that, but in very good form. And Kelvin French umpired that game, and he said it was a very good standard, but massive win to the Marby boys.
The Battle of Maul and Pascoe Vale got their first win of the season, 72 points over Oak Park. It just goes to show that they're still a force to be reckoned with in Premier Division. Pascoe Vale. Dean Tydell kicked 7 and Featherston 4.
Well, there's the size, and Oak Park's defenders really didn't have a chance. Pascoe Vale are still rating themselves a chance to that 4th position. They reckon they'll win the next 5. Nolan's confident, the boys are confident, Paxman, Randello. They've got a good list. So, massive win against Oak Park, big statement, and well done to Pascoe Vale.
Yeah, well done there. They got their first win of the season. So, if we look at the ladder, Aberfeldy clear on top to Greenvale, and then Strathmore, Avondale Heights, Airport West, Essendon Duda Stars, Maribyrnong Park. None of them want to take hold of that 4th spot at the moment, do they?
It's remarkable. And the Heights too, they could have been 5 and 2. They got that obviously 4 points reversed from Keilor in the round 1 clash. But Airport West looked to me the most informed out of 4th spot. Would you agree?
Yeah.
They haven't had bad losses, and they've been pretty impressive the games they've won. But you know what, that 4th spot's up to grab, including Pascoe Vale and Keilor at 8th and 9th.
Well, that's the main. Keilor in 8th position with 2 wins, and I reckon the pressure's off for Keilor now. They can go out and play with a bit of freedom. I reckon there's still a Monty to finish in 4th spot, or at least have a bearing on how 4th.
We saw them nearly beat Strathmore Good Friday, which I thought they probably should have, and they could have really finished 4th spot and be competitive. Pascoe Vale beat Bundoora, who was a powerhouse in the footy league, by 50 points 2 weeks before the final, before the round 1. It just shows how strong, and I'm not being biased, this EDFL Premier competition is in Victoria.
Yep, absolutely, Matty. All right, let's go through the games this week, and it is the grand final replay: Strathmore versus Greenvale. We all know what happened last year when the Jets were surprise winners at Windy Hill. Strathmore were absolute Monties to win that one. Well, some would say they choked, but some would say Greenvale were just too good on the day, which they obviously were. They face off at Lebanon Reserve. Your thoughts on who's going to win?
It's going to be an unbelievable game. That grand final loss is definitely going to be in most of these Strathmore players' minds. I think they're going to come out hard and actually nearly take this game. In saying that, though, the deficit against Aberfeldy last week is too great for me to tip Strathmore again. Cracking game of football, 12-point game, but I think Greenvale won't lose 2 in 3 weeks. Unbelievable game though, and expect some good matchups all across the ground, especially probably I think Jorgensen coming back as well. He may be matching up against a Yakabuchi or something like that.
Aberfeldy play Oak Park and should get a big win in that one. Agree, Matthew?
Yeah,
to the head.
Hopefully Oak Park be very competitive.
Pascoe Vale versus Maribyrnong Park.
Big 8-point game.
Absolutely. And Avondale Heights versus Airport West, and Keilor versus Essendon Duda Stars. They're the 3 games to round it out. Some big clashes, as we said, which will decide 4th spot come season end.
Pascoe Vale at home, always a better side, coming off that win, but Holland's told me that Robinson is playing this week with Slade, so 2 big ins from Marby Park, and some confidence coming against that very good win. The Pascoe Vale, very good side, be a cracker.
Leaving them on Ash Griffins after I gave him the bar.
He's been at more clubs, had more clubs than Greg Norman this year, Rollo, but obviously in a bit of form after you gave him a bath, exactly. But that's massive. But Pascoe Vale be hard to tip against there, and the other game very close as well.
Avondale Heights versus Airport West. Your tip?
Avondale at home, just.
Keilor versus Essendon Duda Stars. Keilor at home. Big chance here.
2 weeks I would have said Keilor clearly. Now Keilor for me at home. Trajovski backs tough, and they'll beat Essendon Duda Stars this week. A very good game.
Good stuff. So another big round of Premier Division.
Expect Jared Garth to kick a bag this week.
All right. So the grand final rematch, as we mentioned, that's the 98.9 Northwest FM Match of the Day broadcast from 2 p.m. Your man Adam Siricogli doing a wonderful job.
Solid in the commentary box he's been.
As always, you're going to pop down there, Matty, and have a look?
Yep, it'll be a great game of football. Love going down to Keilor as well. They always look after us there. But great round of EDFL footy. It's been a great show, Pelly. You've lifted this year. That's what the feedback's been. The views has been record-breaking as well.
Through the roof.
And we appreciate everyone supporting EDFL footy. Any clubs that do have footage, thank you to Aberfeldy for giving us footage. Please provide it to the EDFL. We're happy to pay for it, and we can use it for viewings as well. And great to have you here at New York Minute.
Yep, absolutely. So don't forget a couple other initiatives around the EDFL. Airport West have got their anti-bullying function on June 22, I believe.
Yeah, it is,
have a look on the EDFL website about that. So some great initiatives around, and also boots for all the collection bins are at every club. So drop your old boots and footy clothing there. But Matty, that's all. Go have your burger, all right? And we'll see everyone next week.
Starving. Can't wait. Thanks, Pelly.